Welcome back. This is Yvonne Davis, astrologer and author of The Power of Manifestation, Creating the Life You Love, and In the Magic Flow, Journey of Personal Transformation. So, as I said in my last video, I'm going to try to do more outside because I really want to be spending more time outside in the beautiful weather instead of in my office. So, that's why I'm out here. Although the tricky thing about filming outside is dealing with things, the variables that you can't necessarily control, like people mowing their lawns and helicopter and things like that. So I don't know if that's going to come through on the video, but I thought I'll just go ahead and give it a try. So today I want to talk about anger as medicine. And as I was meditating on the subject for today, the when I landed on that, I thought, yeah, that's what I need to talk about because we really need to explore our relationship with the emotion of anger. And I'll just, use myself as an example. So I think that I had a deep fear of anger. I know a lot of people do because they've seen it in conjunction with violence. It can be in conjunction with all kinds of violence, but particularly physical violence. But it can include other kinds of violence like verbal violence, emotional violence. So a lot of times when we grow up, we are actually afraid of our anger and we're afraid of other people's anger um, because we think that it's going to get out of control and lead to violence. So for myself personally, what I did was I curled it in on myself. So instead of letting my anger flow through me outward, because I was afraid of what that might lead to, like violence, for example, I turned it inward. And I think a lot of people do that. And what happened was that the feelings of anger, because they never got processed, they got repressed, and I had to repress and repress and repress and repress, um, and continue holding the lid down on all this anger that was building over time. And because I had pushed that down for so long and repressed it for so long, it actually turned into depression. And my definition for depression is long-term repressed emotions. So that may not be, the clinical definition, but I don't think that I don't believe that everyone um, necessarily fits under a clinical uh, de- definition of depression. Um, I think that some people that definitely, absolutely can be cured of depression. I know because I'm one of those people. So what cured me was learning how to actually feel and process my emotions, and I learned techniques of self-empathy to help with that. So I was able to work through and process that anger and welcome that anger. And what's interesting now is, I can't say that I still always 100% welcome my anger, and I'm working with that too. And so I'm just sharing with you, this journey of learning to work with anger. And first of all, to see it as a message. When we get angry, it's telling us that there is some unmet need. There's something that we're longing for um, that's not present in our lives, and the anger gives us the energy to burn through blocks and take action. So it's good motivation energy, and so in that sense, it's really good to welcome it. Welcome the messages that it's giving to us. Welcome the energy of motivation and taking action. Um, and then I think for me, what I'm still exploring about anger, which you may be exploring also, is finding myself impatient uh, with situations or other people, um, and how do I communicate needs and wants to another person without, like snapping at them or being testy, because my that energy of the anger and the motivation just wants to get things done. Like I don't want to have to listen to someone telling me stories that they've told me, been telling me all the time for the past 30 years. Like, I've heard this. If you're not going to do something about it, I really don't want to listen to it anymore. And, or when I've communicated something to them and they simply weren't listening. So these are two situations that I know I get triggered. And I'm trying to understand, like, how do I communicate to that person that I have needs too? Like, there are other things I may want to do than just listen to someone drone on and on and on over the same material that they've actually been dealing with for 30 years, and not like taking responsibility and moving forward, because my time is valuable to me, and I have the feeling like their time is not valuable to them. They're not respecting their time, the time that they have left in their life, and taking responsibility. And so they not only are wasting their time, but they're wasting my time telling me the same old story over and over and over again. And it's just something I really, I need to respect my time. So that's really what it comes down to. They can do what they want, but I need to respect my time. So if that's not something I want to listen to, then I need to be able to communicate that. So that's something how I'm working with anger right now, is how to communicate to someone else that certain needs that I have that I want to have met, but try to do it in a way that doesn't come across as testy. So anyway, I have also been curious about how things are going in terms of other people in this program. And if you're watching these videos, how are you making progress toward the goals that you've set for yourself? Have you noticed blocks coming up and need ways and strategies of working with them? So since this is about anger, I'm really curious if how anger shows up in your life. Is it something you're afraid of? Do you repress it? And if so, what happens when you repress your anger? Because I'm suspecting that it doesn't, well, I know for a fact it doesn't go away. So I'm suspecting that it can also lead to low energy and low levels of resentment and possibly even depression. And then often what we do is we end up exploding. Not necessarily in the same time frame. Sometimes it can take months or years. And we may not even make the connection to what it was that originally triggered us that we didn't deal with at the time. So, so basically, I'm really curious, like, how are you relating to anger in your life, and not just that, but in relation to the goals that you're trying to manifest, and also anything else that's coming up around the goals you want to manifest, and any progress you're having, or things that are blocking you, questions you have, or strategies that can help. So if you can put in the comments below the progress that you're making, so that I can check in with you. And now I've done 8 videos, so 8 out of, let's say I was going to 24, so that's 1/3. And so this is a really good time to do check-in and see how things are coming along for you, if you're making progress toward your goals. If not, what are some of the blocks you're dealing with, and what are some questions that you still have? So please use this opportunity to communicate with me and with other people who are also in this program and watching these videos. Let's communicate with each other and let each other know, especially me, since I want to be able to meet your needs in these videos. Let me know what you're still needing and what kind of success you're having, and what's standing in your way, and any questions you have. Okay? Alrighty, well, in that case, I will bring this to a close, and I will look forward to seeing you again next time. Talk to you later.